Kenyan football had taken a beating. Remember, a few years ago, there were no fans going to the stadium. And then suddenly Corona went away. Fans started coming back to the stadium. There's a time we're being told you can only have 40 people attending games. And then after that period, the fans started trickling back to the stadium. Remember, you've got FC Leopards, you've got Gor Mahia. Now we have Shabana coming into the league with a really good fan base, very vibrant and very loyal to them. So what happens? How are you going to handle all these fans when they come to the stadium? Now, the importance of this workshop was to upgrade what we saw called stewards into a different level. And after today, now they're being called safety and security officers. So we no longer call them stewards because now they're on a whole new level. So they've been taught how to handle funds. And one of the key takeaways that I was given a brief on is that when you're handling funds, you do not handle them at your final mile. You handle them before they get to the final mile. So you handle them 100 meters before they get to that final gate to the stadium. Now, the bigger picture is, remember, CHAN is coming to East Africa in February next year. So by upgrading those who handle our top leagues, it means we'll have capacity by the time we are hosting the CHAN. In a few years' time, we'll be hosting AFCON. So you can imagine between now and 2027, if they implement all that they've learned, you can imagine how safe our stadium will be by the time AFCON comes to East Africa.
Well, thank you very much. I would say that this is one of the very important contributions of CAF to the advancement of the change we want to see across Africa when it comes to stadium operations, with specific reference to the safety and security operations in the stadiums. You agree with me that for a long time we have been playing football in Africa. We have not really paid attention to how safety and security operations are managed in our stadiums. And we observed over the years that most of the leagues have people occupying the position of security officers. But what has been lacking is that they do not have the capacity in terms of the know-how to be able to understand what needs to be done. And this was why we came up with the CAF Safe Stadium initiative to go to every country in Africa, amongst the 54 countries, to train 40 people, majorly drawn from the Premier League security officers in each country, and also those responsible in the delivery of safety and security operations for national games, which includes the international games that are being played in the countries. So for us, it's a very interesting and important aspect of our initiative, because now we are talking to the last level. We already have CAF security officers for CAF tournaments. We have national safety and security officers that are managing every country. Now we are going down to the clubs, to talk to the clubs. So this, for us, is completing the circle in terms of the structure of safety and security within the continent. Now, the key players are aware of what needs to be done. They have the knowledge, they have the skills. They now need only for us to support them in terms of policy for them to be able to do what we want them to do. Well, in terms of advancement, we are expecting to see changes in the three main domains that we have: safety, security, and service. So we should be seeing more of the service experience for spectators. This we have to do with crowd control at the gates of entries, more clearly defined roles for various interagencies that plays one role or the other in the execution of match day operations. So now the police, we know what their jobs are. The stewards, we know what their jobs are. The private security, we know what their jobs are. And of course, this also leads us to the next level, which is accountability. Unlike before, when everybody is in the stadium and supposedly working for security, and there is no segmentation in terms of attaching responsibility to a group. Now you have the opportunity to know that the police is supposed to be outside the gates, and they are to manage the last mile. If there's a problem there, we know who to hold. Private security is to manage the VIPs. If there's a problem there, we know who to hold. The stewards are to manage the stands as well as the competition area. If there's a problem, we know who to hold.
from steward to SSO. Former player at Talanta.
Go ready.
Today we are just going to install. After that we are going to install various.
We are going to watch good one. Mimi ndo napanga watu.